You're on the air with Florenza, your podcast destination for authentic conversations with a twist. So, grab your favorite drink, get comfy, and join me on this unique literary journey. Cheers! Today, we're diving into the captivating world of Georgia K. Boone to discuss her newly released book, I'll Be Gone for Christmas. Georgia is a writer and poet inspired by the words of James Baldwin. She lives on the West Coast with her family and often writes songs she may share someday. In I'll Be Gone for Christmas, B. Taylor escapes the San Francisco tech scene by swapping homes with Clover Mills from Salem, Ohio. As they navigate their new lives, B finds romance with Clover's ex-fiancé Knox, while Clover connects with B's sister Beth. This heartwarming holiday rom-com explores unexpected connections and the magic of Christmas. Please help me welcome Georgia to the show. Thank you so much, Georgia, for joining me in our show today. And before we get started, as is my tradition, we are going to toast to a fantastic show. So, oh my goodness, you are drinking water. You must have heard about me. I'm telling you what, I'm going to stop letting people listen to my show in advance. So I am having a bottle of, or did I tell? Whoops, we'll leave that
The bottle's beside you. The cup is
the bottle. Hallelujah. So I am having a glass of Chardonnay. So let's toast to a great show. Cheers.
Cheers.
Don't judge me. It is 6:00 a.m. somewhere. Well, let's do this. Tell the listeners a little bit about yourself. I did intro the book prior to us coming on the show. So give us a little tidbit about who Georgia K. Boone is and why this book right now.
Yeah, absolutely. So I am a writer of many things. I write adult, I write children, I write a little bit of poetry and different sorts of things. But I'll Be Gone for Christmas is my debut romance novel. And why right now? Well, my spouse and I, our favorite, one of our favorite holiday films is The Holiday with Cameron Diaz. And Kate Winslet. Mm-hmm. And those sort of classic films tend not to be particularly diverse. So with I'll Be Gone for Christmas, it was, what if it was a similar situation, but they were two burnt out millennial Black girls, not that I know any of those, and one of whom is queer like myself. And kind of put them in a similar situation. I chose San Francisco, sort of the tech space, just because I have a couple of friends who were in that space, and then I chose Salem, Ohio, because that's where my mom is from. So
I'm an Ohio girl.
Oh, you're in Ohio.
I'm in Chagrin Falls, Ohio, right outside of Cleveland. Yep.
Okay, very cool. Very cool. I've been to certain parts of Ohio. It's been a while, but my whole family clan is back there. I'm from the West Coast, born and raised, but yeah, my mom's whole family is out there.
Okay, cool beans. And I love it. And I love that the intent wasn't to change the story, but to diversify it, right? Bring diversity to these classics and these storylines that we are all so familiar with, and diversity is just a beautiful thing where everyone's able to see themselves in something, so thank you for that little bit of tidbit. So Georgia, you mentioned that I read it online that you sometimes write songs Now, my initial thing was going to be to have you sing
Oh
because
Lord, no.
I dug around and I did find that it has been said that you sing, but that you don't share that you sing. So I'm not trying to blow up your situation. However, no,
Oh, could you imagine? It just became karaoke straight through. Like no words, just song. It's gonna be a musical.
yes, I would tell you just sing all of your answers.
Nobody wants
So
that, I promise you.
if your book had a theme song, what would it be and why?
Oh, if it had a theme song. Well, it would be one of the things that I sort of comped this to the book to in my mind was Kelly Clarkson's Last Christmas album.
Yes, she is so
Because
talented.
she's incredible, but also she has, I feel like, a monopoly on really good breakup songs for Christmas.
Yeah.
And of course, this album, my goodness, this novel is about love and romance and happy endings. But it starts with heartbreak in some way, right? Like it's Christmas, everybody's supposed to be happy. But B, one of the main characters, she's, like I said, dealing with burnout and sort of heartbrokenness around her general family. And then Clover, who's the other main character, she's dealing with, losing her mom and ending her engagement. So there's a lot of sadness during a time that's supposed to be, the happiest season of the year.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was just, out here blasting Merry Christmas Baby by Kelly Clarkson and like all of her different kinds of songs. So that would probably be it'd be the beginning theme song. It shouldn't be the ending theme song.
Yeah, in the beginning. Nice. I've heard that a lot of authors are now creating these playlists that go with the books. So maybe you can work with Kelly and get that. Hey, Kelly Clarkson, if you're listening to this,
Miss
Georgia
Kelly, if you're
needs you.
free, if you have some time here.
Let's make it happen. Now, the title "I'll Be Gone for Christmas" suggests a sense of departure and adventure. If you could spend Christmas anywhere in the world, where would it be, and what would you do?
My first thought was Germany, only because my spouse is really interested in like visiting like these little Christmas villages, I guess
They're
that.
phenomenal.
Or have you been
I lived
there?
there for 12 years.
Whoa, okay, so you really know.
Yes.
So you could come up with like a whole schedule and everything.
I could be your tour guide. Just let me know. I stay
Excellent.
packed.
Awesome. It's wrapped up. My spouse will be so excited. He's down. But yeah, I mean that's probably my first thought. Like I love small towns. I love, history and architecture and all that stuff. So that's probably where I'd want to go. And then as far as what I would do, you know, I like I said, I love architecture, so I'd probably go on a bunch of tours, um, try and write and see what inspires me and that kind of thing.
It is it's beautiful. It's gorgeous. I can absolutely leave right now with nothing but what I'm wearing and be 100% totally content in Germany. It is just that
Wow.
phenomenal. It is absolutely. So please make that happen for yourself because you would not be disappointed. I
Okay.
love,
All right.
yeah.
Well,
So
thank
that's
you.
two for two we have in common. The Ohio thing, okay, and the German thing. We're batting 1,000.
I love
Now,
that.
as a writer, poet, and the daughter of storytellers, how do you weave your personal experiences and family stories into your fictional words?
Um, that's interesting because I feel like my sister got me this mug that said, "Be nice to me, or I'll put you in my next book," um, which is funny. But I think as an author, it's an interesting line to toe, right? Where you are being honest and sort of plumbing your own experiences, but our lives are also the fabric of others'
Yes.
lives. And so you have to be really careful about what you share. I mean, you don't have to, but for me, I want to be in many ways. And so I for this one it was interesting because I feel like I was taking a lot of my sort of the top character of myself, like the basic ingredients of who I am as a person, like a Black millennial girl who is queer and has these like little elements. But for this particular book, there weren't a lot of sort of deeper elements of
Hmm.
myself.
Hmm.
It was which actually made it both really fun and also in some ways harder because you're like you've got these ingredients, but now you've got to kind of come up with the recipe so that it comes out good. So yeah, I think with this one it was more like taking the top level aspects of what I knew or people that I knew or situations that I was aware of, and then obviously the holiday itself is a little bit of a blueprint there.
Uh-huh.
Not everything is really one to one in the film, like the basic stuff about women switching houses is pretty much the same, and like very different environments is the same, but there's a lot of other things that are just super different because it wouldn't make sense for the book. um but yeah, I think that was it, just sort of taking those top level elements and figuring out what to do with it from there.
Nice. I love that. I have a sign on the other side of this desk that I am right now, and it says, "Warning novelists at work, disrupt and you'll be part of the story." So nice. Now, the theme of finding oneself is central to the book. How do you weave this theme into being in a Christmas setting? Because that's very unique, bringing those two together.
Yeah, I think it's like, okay, there are two films. I keep referencing films because I love Christmas movies. I think, and most people do, but It's a Wonderful Life, right?
Yes,
Which is like 100% about like finding yourself and like,
100%.
it's just like such a beautiful film. And then of course, The Preacher's Wife.
Yes.
Uh
That was first called The Bishop's Wife or The Deacon's Wife. One of
yes,
the two.
yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one. Actually, for the longest time, I actually thought The Preacher's Wife was a remake of It's a Wonderful Life.
Oh, yeah, it fits.
It does, it fits, yeah. But I just like I love those films, and I feel like, the holidays are oftentimes like a time of reflection where
Mhm.
everybody's slowing down, everybody's around family. Everybody's like typically like on some sort of vacation, everything is sort of around meals, so we're all kind of taking stock of our lives. And I think, that's one of the reasons why then we immediately have, the New Year's resolutions, right? Because you're
Right.
starting a new year, and it's because you've had now what 2 months at least to kind of come down from the previous year and kind of
Hmm.
reassess. So I feel like that it just fit really well. The theme of the book fit really well, I think, with the season.
And that leads us right into my next question of how do you hope the readers will feel after finishing I'll Be Home for Christmas?
I hope that they'll feel warm and cuddly and like like they just had like a cup of hot chocolate on a cold day. Um and I just want people to feel, in some ways, I guess, uh understood too. I
Hmm.
think burnout is something that a lot of people understand, um, but people are kind of ashamed to admit to that
Yeah.
they feel it.
Yeah.
And it's a big, big aspect of the book for one of the characters, because she just can't get anything done. And
Right.
she feels like she's a failure. She feels like, I'm not living up to like other people's standards for me. Like I don't know what to do. Um,
Hmm.
and the answer, sometimes is that you just have to do something for yourself, and that's a really
Yes.
scary answer for a lot of people.
Yeah.
um and then I think on the other hand is Clover, who like her whole thing is that she's always kind of been the model daughter and she's been the model fiance and she's done everything right. But she's never been true to herself. She's
Hmm.
never been willing to admit to others
Who she is.
her, yeah, exactly, her romantic identity. Um and that's also something that's really scary and difficult for people. And so I think just I hope reading their journeys in the context of, love and friendship and holiday season and all that stuff is, people come away feeling, I don't know, a little bit braver maybe than they did
Yeah.
before.
Referencing that it's dealing with identity, what do you say to a reader who may pick it up and think just because there are some elements of diversity in there that they may not understand, what would you say to them in terms of why this is the book that they want to read?
I think it's because it's about the human condition at the end of
Yeah,
the day, right? It's about being human. It's about taking risks. It's about loving yourself and finding, the people who are going to love you for you. And I think that that's something that everybody can relate to and everybody can kind of fall in love with.
I love that. And I know that earlier you shared some of your fondest Christmas memories and some of the things that remind you of Christmas. Why was it important for you in dealing with all of the elements of come of age and finding oneself and the self-discovery and balancing romance? What made the Christmas time so special for all of those things to come together?
I think that's the time when hijinks most occur.
Mm, that's true. So true.
You're either with your family or you're avoiding your family. You're finally kind of off of work and people aren't asking you to do stuff, but then you're kind of left to your own devices.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I think it's a time, it's magical and wonderful and reflective in all these ways, but also, when people are left to their own devices, they get up to stuff.
They get up
I
to
feel like
stuff.
that's what
Yes.
happened.
And I share with you the story of my aunt and my dad. So let me tell you, I know how they get up to stuff. Where are the readers able to connect with you and get to know more about who Georgia is?
Yeah, I would love to give you a website, but I haven't put one up yet, because I am maybe a little bit too much like B in the book. Um, but like I said, I don't know who she's based off of. But you could definitely follow me at Georgia K. Boone on Instagram.
Okay.
I post a lot there, a lot of information about this book and my other writing. And right now, for people who pre-order, there's a really beautiful custom tarot card
Oh, nice.
that you could get just because tarot is part of one of the things that kind of pushes B to make a change,
Mm-hmm.
because her friend reads her tarot cards basically and is like, girl, these aren't looking good for you. Like, what's happening?
And they weren't upside down, so you know this is legit. So
Exactly, it was legit.
inverted, you
There was
can kind of
no
argue it.
misreading.
Yes. Inverted, you can kind of say, no, girl, that ain't me. But she's like, no, for real, for real.
Yeah.
Like for real, for real.
Yeah, she was like,
Nice.
every single one of these cards is telling me that like it's something's not right here.
Let's get this together. Wonderful. Now, what's next for you? Do you see this becoming a sequel? Do you see I'll Be Gone for Christmas part two? Where does the book go?
I mean, I would love, especially because, it's based off of a movie. It would be a dream, I think, for this to like maybe make it into that space as well. And for people to see an opportunity there.
Mm-hmm.
I think as far as like the characters moving on or you know, being in some other kind of arena, well, I mean, there are some fun side characters that I definitely could play around with. Clover ends up kind of falling into this like ragtag band of um, uh, messy queers, which that's true of pretty much all ragtag bands.
Uh-huh.
And then Clover, when she's in Salem, Ohio, she just ends up meeting like really interesting people who are like um have kind of their own politics as far as like the Christmas choir and like that kind of stuff. And I think that that could be really fun to dive into.
We've come to the fun part of the show where we do this or that questions. And I theme them around the holidays just so that we're able to kind of keep the holiday spirit going. So I'm just going to give you two things, and without thinking too much, just pick one or the other. Okay. Wonderful. Gingerbread house decorating contest or ugly sweater fashion show?
Oh, gingerbread contest because I can eat it.
Nice. Singing carols door to door or hosting a holiday movie marathon?
Oh, I have done both. And I think I would actually prefer doing Christmas carols because you go to other people's houses. They don't come to yours.
See, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, I told you she could sing. She was nagging in the earlier part.
I could be in the back. I can blend my voice. You can't hear me.
Nice. Okay, opening presents on Christmas Eve or on Christmas morning?
Eve.
Eve, yes.
Yep.
Hot chocolate with marshmallows or spiced eggnog?
Spiced eggnog.
Of course. Building snowman or having a snowball fight?
Building snowmen because I don't want to get
hit in the face.
Snow.
Yeah.
Although I do have good aim though, so other people got to watch out. But
I'll have you on my team. So last one, characters who always tell the truth or characters who always tell jokes?
Oh, I think the truth is not always what it seems. And I think that is fun. So I would say characters who always tell the quote unquote truth.
Nice. Well, thank you, Georgia, for joining me. I have had, like, when I say this has been the most fun that I have had ever, it has been the most fun ever.
I've had a blast. This has been really great. I really thank you so much for choosing me to be on this podcast with you. I really appreciate it.
Yes, thank you. And this wraps up another episode of On the Air with Florenza. You may follow me on all social media platforms under Florenza Lee or via my website at florenza.org. Until next time, cheers.